It was really
fun.
Yeah, it was fun. He had a really good sense of humor, and I remember the first day I met him, and just think when he walked in the room was the full cast photo, and I remember just thinking, be cool, Bella. And then he walked over and he went to shake my hand. He had these prosthetic fingers on, and as he went to shake, he realised he shouldn't shake, so he did this like strange thing with his elbow, and I was just like, oh, thank God, he's just like weird like the rest of us, which was a relief.
And he's, you know, he's fun. He brings his kids on set, and he's just like, you know, he's a normal guy. It's interesting.
Well, I played two different characters, so I had two different looks. I had the 18th century look, which was very romantic and idealistic, and the costumes were just stunning and quite ornate and aristocratic. And then I had the complete opposite, which was someone from the 1970s who was quite repressed. It wasn't even typical 70s costumes. They were more of a throwback to the 50s, and it was quite rigid, very much someone who was trying to hold themselves together, and I think the costumes reflected that.
My costumes were very 70s. They were kind of the typical woodstocky color palette, you know, wearing some interesting, you know, vintage Ozzy Clark pieces, and calling out Wood's a genius. And I think she really hit the nail on the head for everyone, you know? I think everyone had pitch perfect costuming. It was cool, for sure. Like, you know, walking onto that set with, like, Johnny Depp at the other head of the table, and there's Michelle Pfeiffer over there, and, like, Helena Bonham Carter and Tim Burton's on the corner. Like, yeah, you don't know, but, you know,
Just another
no big
day at the
deal.
office, whatever.
Whatever. It's good. Oh, I gotta go to work today.
I think for me, he had far more of a sense of humour than I had expected. Chloe's heard me tell this story a million times before,
It's a
but
good
there was
story.
this day on set we did this wave tank scene, and I was kind of feeling a bit anxious about it, and I was like, it'll be fine, Tim, I'm just going to get psyched up. And then I walked on set and he started playing Eye of the Tiger, like blasting it through this arena. And it's just moments like that. He had so much more of a sense of humour than I anticipated, and he just made going to work really fun.
He's very hands-on. You know, for me, I think he's one of the most hands-on directors, and he does like listen to everyone, but he really cares about your personal kind of like how you feel about your character, you know, and clothes-wise, if you're comfortable, or, you know, your hair, your makeup and stuff. And he pays attention to so much detail, you know, and he's just a fun guy, you know? He makes you laugh, and he doesn't make you feel like a fool when you are being a fool in a scene, you know? And you know, you understand how Johnny has been able to go to so many cool places for his characters with Tim and a lot of different people.
It was insane. I think one of the first days after I arrived in London, Tim took me on a tour around the sets, and it was the first time it landed that I was in a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
The sets are so detailed. It's like walking into a real mansion or walking into an actual fishing village. I mean, everything is
So special, you know? I mean, he pays attention to so much detail that even though they weren't shooting in all the shops in the village that they built, each shop was perfectly propped to where you could walk in at any point and film inside it, and it'd be perfect. So it's just, he pays attention to so much detail that isn't even needed, you know?